let's talk about my 110-pound weight loss. Let's get into it. Hey friend, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk about something that's really important to me, and I'm just going to give you my honest story. So grab you a snack and come on back. Hey, my beautiful friend, my sweeties here. Today I want to share something really personal, which is my weight loss journey. And, you know, if you're ever struggling with weight, losing weight, staying motivated, or just feeling stuck, you know, trust me, I've been there. You know, I have been there. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. You know, but I made a change. I made a change in my lifestyle. I made a change in my life. You know, and I want to help inspire you to do the same. You know, if you're struggling with losing weight. I'm 60 years old. I'm in my Sexagenarian era, and I am currently losing weight. So it can be done. You know, they always say, oh, over 35, you can't lose weight, blah, blah, blah. That's a bunch of BS. You can lose weight. If you put your mind to it, you meditate on it, have gratitude for where you are at this particular moment, the weight will fall off. Most definitely, it will just fall off. I'm living proof of that. Yes, now in the beginning when I started losing weight, my weight loss journey began in 2019. That's when I was really serious. I've had several weight loss journeys, several weight loss journeys, you know. But I want to help to inspire you to do the same. So I want us to get into it. You know, I want us to get into it here. And if you have any questions, comments, you know, I'm an open book here. I will answer all your questions and comments. Leave them down below. Leave them down below. Let's get into it. You know, let's get into it. You know, one of the things that's really, really important about the weight loss journey is staying consistent. And, you know, results take time. Just like here, this YouTube channel, it's taking me time. I have over 200 videos, almost 205 videos on this platform. I might even have 205 now, I don't know. And I have almost 110. Actually, this video is episode 110. But I'm nowhere in the subscriber count or the watch time hours where I should be for this much content. But I'm trying to be consistent. And you know that my day one is no. Consistent is my word of 2025, and authentic. And that's what you're getting today. An authentic video and personal story of my weight loss journey, you know, where I started. I've said it many times here, but I've never really filmed a whole video about my weight loss journey. So I want to do that. And I'm going to insert a bunch of pictures and video and different things here, you know, but I just want to, you know, I really want to talk about this. You know, it's an important topic to me. And I have the wisdom and the knowledge now. I know my body at 60 years old, and I know what worked for me. You have to find what works for you. What I do is not going to make you lose weight. You have to find out what you can do that's going to help you lose weight and help you on this journey. But I can give you some pointers because I've been through the trenches of this thing. You know, I've lost now over 110 pounds. It's getting ready. I'm getting ready to get down into the 10s. I'm getting ready to get down in there. And I'll report again when I'm probably like at maybe 115 or something like that. You know what I mean? It's taken me a little bit. I'm a very slow weight loser. I am what they call a turtle in this weight loss era here, you know, in the weight loss journey. I am a turtle. It takes me a while to lose weight, but I know what works for me to get me there. I know that I can't snack a bunch. I can't eat a bunch of junk and snack and things. It's not going to help me lose weight. I know that right now in my current state right now, I'm doing OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And I fast. I follow Dr. Mindy Pelz, and I'm going to list her down below. And she is amazing when it comes to fasting. And I wish I had her books here to show you. I don't have them. But Dr. Pelz, Dr. Mindy, you know, she teaches you how to fast like a girl. And it works for men too, but this is what she's focused on. And how to get us our best results for weight loss. And I've fasted for, 72 hours. I've fasted for 7 days. I've done the work. I've done it, my body, to regenerate my cells and get the fat out of my body. I've done the work. I've done the work. So now, it's time for me to talk about it. It's time for me to talk about it. I have a long way to go, don't get me wrong. Yes, I've lost over 110 pounds now. I don't know, as I said in my previous video, I know what my goal weight is, what I have in mind for that. I'm not sharing that with anyone at this moment, but it all depends on my body, how my body feels when I get to that point. Do I feel good? Do I need to put on a few more pounds, or do I need to take off a few more pounds? I'll know when I get there how I'm feeling, the more energy that I have, and I'll be able to do other things, you know what I mean? Like weights and different things like that. Right now, I'm totally focused on food. I was doing weights. I do movement every day. I do my steps every single day. And I get anywhere from 15,000 to 20-something thousand steps a day. I was doing it to the point where I was burning 3,000 calories a day, and that wasn't getting me anywhere. You got to work smarter, not harder. And so now I do my 8-hour, I have my watch set to 8 on a stand goal. Right now I've got 2.4 miles in. I've done like 23 minutes of steps. And I will continue throughout the day, every hour, to do a little bit, and it helps me get my stand goal. And then, I'll be done by this afternoon. Normally, I would get up early in the morning, like at 5 or so, and do all of that first thing in the morning, so I'm done, and my calories will continue to burn through the day. My body is conditioned now that I can just burn calories from just sitting here. My body will continue to burn calories. But because I'm focused now on this YouTube channel and talking to you and helping you and sharing gratitude and different things, I do it more now during the day. I take my time to do it now, So, but you don't have to start out in the beginning with exercise. If that's something you want to do, you can. It's 80% what you're putting in your body, what you're putting in your mouth. It's 80% that. The other is doing your weights and exercise and getting strong and staying strong. And that's what I'm working on. As a matter of fact, right here, I had told you in a few videos ago, I have these soft weights filled with sand. They're 2-pound weights. So sometimes when I'm sitting here, I'm editing, I'm in between videos, and I have to, in between filming, I sit here and I do my weights. You know what I mean? And I do them. You don't need heavy weights. Yes, are preferred. You know what I mean? I'm not at that stage yet. The heaviest weight I have is 10 pounds, and that I can do. But these work wonders. These work wonders. And I can feel it. I can feel it. And I'm holding my stomach in. My belly button is all the way to my spine. I'm holding in. And I'm doing it, And you keep breathing. And you keep doing. And you just do this every day. A little bit every day. A little bit every day will get you somewhere. I have lost this 110 pounds by doing my steps and stuff every day, sitting in a chair like I'm sitting in right now, doing my steps, pumping my arms, marching, my feet are marching, my feet are moving, and I'm doing my steps. And this is what I do every single day. If you watched any of my daughter's videos, her first videos back here on this platform, you will see her doing her steps in a chair. And everybody's like, what are you doing? Does that, that works. We have lost weight. It is guaranteed, proven it works. I'm proof of it. I've lost 110 pounds doing this. It works, okay? It works. So don't knock it till you try it. But I wanted to talk about, also when you have a setback, you have to forgive yourself and give yourself grace. We all have bad days. There are days when all I want to do is eat everything that is not nailed down, and I do it. I'm not going to deprive myself. But then I know the next day I'm going to get back on my horse. I'm going to do my steps. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to eat the protein that I need to eat to get me down and to get my fat down, to get me down, to get this weight to drop, but everybody's body is different. Everybody's body is different. We all don't look the same at the same weight. We all don't feel the same at the same weight. And basically I'm doing this not because, oh, you need to be thin, and no, that's not why I'm doing this. I love me some me. I love myself. Fat, thin, short, long hair, short hair, blue hair, purple hair, pink hair, whatever. I love me, and you've got to get to that point too. You know what I mean? You have to love what you see in the mirror. I love every roll of my body. Right now, my skin is all crepey from losing weight. I have so much crepey skin on my hips and my thighs and my butt is just so wrinkly from losing so much weight. My breasts are sagging from losing so much weight. You know what I mean? When this is all said and done, I am praying for a big windfall and manifesting, because I'm going to have my arms done. I have this. I have the wings. And doing all the weights in the world is not going to help all of this go away. It's just not. I'm going to have skin removal surgery for my stomach, my arms. I'm going to have my breasts lifted. I'm going to have some probably back fat or something removed. I want to do all those things. This is going. If I'm down to my goal weight and I still have this turkey waddle, oh, this is the first thing that's going. And see, it's so crazy. When I do like this, it's fine. But when I'm sitting and I'm talking and you can see it and all the crepiness here, and that's from losing weight. I've lost this extra chin that I had. And you'll see later on and through this, I'm going to put some pictures up through here and you'll see, how I looked. My face is so dramatically changed. You know what I mean? Even Zoe said to me, she's like, Mommy, your arms are smaller. You are so thin. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely not thin, but I'm definitely a long way, 110 plus pounds away from where I was. I started this journey at 321 pounds is the first weight that I remember, but I weighed more than that. But I refused to see that, look at that, know that. So 321 was the first weight that I registered. And I started this, different things work for different people. You know what I mean? I started this weight loss journey on WW, on the Weight Watchers plan. And I started, first I was just on the blue plan at that time. It's totally changed and different now. And that helped me lose 50 pounds initially. And then I was feeling so good. And then I just kept going and I lost 85 pounds. And this was in 2019. And how that happened was, in 2018, I was scheduled to have a hysterectomy. And I went to the doctor. I was going to the doctor weekly, for different checkups and everything to prepare me for this hysterectomy. And I went to the doctor in January. It was either December or January of 2019. And I'm getting ahead of myself, of 2019. And I had to have the pre-workup that you have to have before you have surgery. So you go in, I went to the hospital and they did blood work and all the things to get me prepared. So in case, for the next day to come in to see that I was ready for surgery the next day. Or it was going to be, I think, in 2 more days. And I left there after being poked and prodded and having everything done. And I left there, and my daughter and I went out to breakfast. And during this time, prior to me having this hysterectomy, to me going to the hospitals for this scheduled hysterectomy, I was just drinking soda. I was double fisting. I was just drinking, and Dr. Pepper Cherry was my drink of choice. And not zero sugar, not diet, regular Dr. Pepper Cherry. And I was just drinking. Or sweet tea. I love sweet tea on ice and Dr. Pepper Cherry. And I wanted the bubbles because I am a soda person. So how I remedy that is now I drink my sparkling water. Plain sparkling water. I love the flavored sparkling waters, but they're made with a natural flavor, which is another form of sugar. And I don't want that in my body. So I drink the plain one. If I want to add something to it, then I can. But I prefer the plain sparkling water, and that's what I drink. It doesn't matter what brand it is. It's nothing but carbonated water, CO2 and water. That's it. It doesn't have natural flavors, maltodextrin, dextrose, all these things that are other words for sugar. So I just drink the plain. But I am a soda-holic, and I was just drinking. So when she says to me, the hospital called me that day after we left the hospital, and we went to have breakfast. I forgot what the breakfast was. I think it was called Eggs Up Grill or something like that. We've only been there that one time. And we went to have breakfast, just my daughter and I. My mom was here. She was home. My daughter went with me to my appointment, and I couldn't eat anything. And prior to that, not knowing that I was dealing with having type 2 diabetes at all, I was going to the bathroom every 10 minutes. I had to pee every 10 minutes or urinate every 10 minutes. I had to release. But I was still drinking sugar. There's like, 20-something grams of sugar in a soda? So imagine me doing double fisting that and doing it all day. I wasn't just drinking 2. I was drinking probably 2 sodas every half hour or 20 minutes. I mean, literally. And so when the hospital called me, we pulled up in the parking lot, and I get this phone call, and I answer, and it was the hospital. And they said, "Are you okay, Miss Milner?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And they're like, "Your blood sugar was 500, I think it was 543 or 548. You need to get to your doctor immediately." And I'm like, "Oh." They're like, "Your A1C is 14. And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "Yes." Now, prior to that, going to my doctor, they never said anything about my blood sugar. And I'm sure it was, my A1C was high. It was probably 70 or something, or 6 point something, or 7 or 6.7 or something. It was up there. It was over a 7, I'm sure. But at this point, it was a 14. It's a miracle that I didn't die from a diabetic coma. You know what I mean? And so I was like, oh my God. So I couldn't eat anything, of course, in the restaurant after hearing that news. And I wasn't hungry anyway. I noticed that with the onset of the diabetes, I couldn't eat things. I couldn't eat carbs. I was just thirsty. I just wanted to drink it. I just wanted soda. I was not eating. So in that moment, even though I was drinking all that sugary soda, I was losing weight. I was losing weight. And so I made an appointment immediately. And it was January 9th, 2019, to go to the doctor. That day was a day of so many emotions, because that day we woke up and we found our little cat, Mango, dead. He had strangled. And he got caught on something, and he had on a collar, but it wasn't a breakaway collar, and we didn't know. And so we found him dead. So we had to deal with that. My daughter was hysterical because she found him. And then we had to go to the doctor. And so as soon as we got there, you know, she says to me, you are type 2 diabetic, and I'm putting you on insulin. And I just started bawling my eyes out, you know, and I know she's looking at me like, what is wrong with this woman? And I'm like, insulin, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's for type 1 diabetics, and I don't want. She's like, listen, this is the fastest way to get you down from a 548, almost 550 blood glucose. You're going to take this insulin. You're going to take it once a day, and you're going to change everything starting today. So I came home. I got my insulin and everything. I came home, and I started that day. I never looked at another soda. I started drinking my water and eating more protein. And I didn't know anything yet. I hadn't seen a diabetic coach, a dietitian, none of the above. I just started researching and doing. So I started with having my yogurt and different things every morning and doing steps. And at that point, I couldn't, you know, I just couldn't get it together, you know, but I started doing gradual steps. You know, I could only do maybe 5 minutes of a video at that time. And then I worked myself up to 12 minutes. And then I worked myself up to doing 15 minutes and then 20 minutes. And now I could go hours doing steps and get lost in it. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I did this long, you know, yeah, and I did this many steps. I can do that now. But it was a process. It was a process. After 3 months, I went back to the doctor after 3 months of taking insulin and metformin ER. And I went back to her, and my blood sugar had gone all the way down from a 14 to a 6.7. Yes, I had done it. I had done it on my own. I had done it. And so then, you know, the process of my Weight Watchers and doing everything, you know, I kept doing on with that and journaling everything that I was putting in my mouth. But the thing with Weight Watchers at that time, they've since changed now. At that time, they didn't give calories or anything. It was points. And so it was triggering for me, and I had to stop doing the Weight Watchers, but it was very triggering because I'm like, oh my God, if I eat this, I'm going to gain a pound. It's over my points. And my daughter was like, Mommy, you're driving yourself crazy. That's not going to happen. You're not going to gain a pound. That's not going to happen. But I was so triggered by that I'm like, okay, I can't do WW anymore. It's not for me. I can't do it anymore. I've done so many programs until now. I don't journal anymore what I eat because I eat OMAD. I know my body. I don't weigh my food anymore. I used to weigh my food all the time. I don't do that anymore. And count. Sometimes if I do use, I use I'm going to show you right now the app that I use and see if I can get this app. Oh my goodness. The stuff that keeps coming in on this, oh, is ridiculous on this phone. Stop it. It's like constantly notification. I'm going to see if I could put a picture of the app on here for you. But it's the Lose It app, and it's an orange scale. And on that app, when you go into it, you set it up, you know, and it gives you your macronutrients. And what I usually do is I like to look at the protein only. I don't look at everything else, the carbohydrates, the fiber, sometimes fiber, but I don't look at everything else. I look at the protein. That is my goal every day for how much protein, if I'm gonna journal. But I'm to the point now where I've lost 110 pounds. I know my body. I don't have to do that anymore. You know what I mean? But for you, you know, if you feel triggered or you want to see what you're doing, journal it. And it doesn't have to be this app. I paid for a lifetime of this particular app, but this app is free. So you can use it. I couldn't use the, what's the one? I want to call it PayPal, and that's not it. The PAL one, whatever that is. I'll see if I could put a picture of that up here too. I just couldn't get into that app for some reason. And then at one time I was using the Healthy app. And I think they've changed their name, or maybe they're Healthy now, but they used to be something else. And I liked that little app too. They also had points, but they were called something else as opposed to WW points. But now I'm like, yeah, I don't do any. So now the only thing I do in my Lose It app is I log my blood sugar numbers every day. And usually my blood sugar every day is anywhere from 69 or 67 up to maybe 78, 79. Sometimes it's a little higher. Like a couple days this week I was like 84 or something like that. But I try to keep my numbers low. That means, and especially when you're in your 70s or down, if you're a keto person, you're in ketosis, your body is burning and losing, and that's where I like to be. I'm not a keto person, but that's where I like to be. You know what I mean? The higher your numbers are, you're gaining weight, you're doing, like I think I mentioned in one video of a young lady who I talked to, and she takes insulin at every meal and insulin in the morning, and she's a type 2 diabetic. And I'm like, okay, well, have you tried anything else, like Manjaro or Ozempic or anything? It's like, no, that didn't work for me. It made me gain weight. And I'm like, well, it will make you gain weight if you're not focusing on your eating, on your protein and everything. And she was sitting talking to me, stuffing her face with bread. She had a sandwich, chips, all this stuff. And it's like, this is not gonna work for you. You're gonna be on this insulin for the rest of your life. You have to take it serious, and I did do that. I took this very seriously. And I had 2 coaches along the way, a diabetes coach and another coach that were provided for me through my insurance. And they were with me for 3 months. And, it was amazing. It was amazing just having that validation and that encouragement and that loving from somebody who didn't even know me, but they were encouraging me and telling me, giving me certain tricks and tools to lose the weight, to take my medicine, how to do certain things. And I finally got myself off of the insulin. I'm still now taking metformin, but I'm getting ready to be off of that soon. My blood sugar, the last time I went in, I think was 5.4. So it's going down, but I do take, to be transparent, I do take Manjaro. Right now I'm on 2.5 milligrams. I've been taking it for the last 2 years off and on. In the beginning, I took it for 4 months and I lost, I think, 30 pounds with it. I had already lost weight and then I lost 30 pounds extra with it. But then my insurance wouldn't really cover it to the extent that I needed it to be covered because I'm retired. I'm on Social Security disability. I'm on a fixed income. I only get paid once a month. And my whole check, most of it goes to paying the rent and keeping a roof over my head. So I couldn't afford to pay all the money for this shot. And I couldn't get into my doctor at the time. So I kind of let that go. And I just kept doing it on my own. And I kept losing the weight on my own. But then I went into this long stall where I was at 271 pounds. And I could not get out of that. I could not get out of the 270s. And I would just fluctuate 2 to 5 pounds, either 275, 270, 274, 271, 272, 275. I would just keep gaining and rotating these 5 pounds over and over and over and over and over and over. And finally, I went back into her and I said, she's like, well, why aren't you taking your, the Manjaro? I'm like, because you didn't write the prescription right. My thing ran out. And she's like, what do you mean? You're supposed to be able to get this. You're a type 2 diabetic. I'm like, well, I couldn't. So now I can get it. And now I've been approved for a 3-month supply every month. And I will probably take it for the rest of my life. Once I'm lost weight, I will take it for maintenance. Right now I'm trying to titrate up. It's a terazepatide. And when you want to move up to the next pen or the higher dose, it's called titrating up. And right now I'm back on 2.5 milligrams because during the month of December, there was a miscommunication between my doctor and the pharmacy and I never got my medicine, my pens. And so I was on 5 milligrams at that time, which when I went back to the doctor for my physical in January, I should have gone up to 7.5, which is what I do. And I try to stay at 1 for a very long time. Right now I've been on 2.5 for the last 4 months. So I'm trying to stay, or the last 3 months, I'm trying to stay on that for as long as I can. You know what I mean? And not keep moving up. My body is doing well. I don't have many side effects at all. You know what I mean? On occasion I do when I eat certain things. Like I can't eat things that are too fatty greasy, which I love. I love fat and grease. I love it. I love it. The fatter, the greasier, the better for me. But I can't have it. It doesn't work for me. It will just come right out of my body. And so I pretty much have to eat a lot of lean proteins. And now I was doing carnivore for a while, but I now have added some carbs into my life. So I do like rice and I like potatoes. So now I eat that on occasion. And I'm losing weight. I'm not gaining weight from having that, but I know my body now. And I know that I focus mostly on the protein. I do apple cider vinegar shots every day. It's good for your digestion, good for your stomach. I put it in bone broth. I put it in tea, you know, and I drink it and I sip it and I love it. I'm used to it now. I used to just shot it back, but it's not good for your throat. It will tear up your throat and your teeth. So I now put it in my tea and I drink it, you know what I mean? Or in my bone broth with lemon. And it just brightens it up and gives it such a good flavor. And I love that. You know, so there's certain things, you know, that I had to do. You know, I had to really discipline myself. And I've gone through so many changes. But I know now that OMAD works for me. It's helped me lose 110 pounds, basically, because I'm starting over from scratch. It's helped me. You know what I mean? And now the Mounjaro is assisting me. But I don't have this, you know, like you see the people, the Hollywood people and this and that. You see somebody who's chunky and then all of a sudden they're super thin. Like the other day we were watching a commercial with, what is that child's name? Megan. She's a singer. I can't think of her name. She's all about that bass. All about that bass, no trouble. Her. And she is so thin. She is super thin. And she was always thick. And I'm like, oh, she must be taking something. Ozempic or Wegovy or Mounjaro, whatever. But you know, those people can get all these things. They don't have to have symptoms. And they can afford to pay thousands of dollars for a pen. I cannot. I was approved for the Mounjaro because I am a type 2 diabetic. I would not be taking it otherwise. You know what I mean? I can lose weight on my own. And the Mounjaro helps keep my numbers low. And it helps me with food suppression and food noise. Always thinking about, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? I want to eat this. I want to eat that. I could see somebody eating now and just be okay with it. I can eat, if I want something sweet, which now I'm doing my sugar fast, so I'm not really eating anything sweet like that. If I want sweet, I have an apple with peanut butter or dates or something like that. I'm not having, which I don't have any right now. So when we do groceries, hopefully this week, I'll be able to have that. Or I'll have a nut or something, or the popcorn. You know, those things help me. But I also can't overboard those things because it's just too much. You know what I mean? It makes me gain weight, and then it triggers me to where I want to just eat everything that's not nailed down. So I know I can't do that. You know, so I have to do everything in moderation, everything. But I never deprive myself. Never deprive myself. I get up in the morning. I just learned a new mantra today. I'm going to share it with you. And I'm going to put her down in the description. I'm going to share this video and put it down in the description. It's from Sonia Choquette. She's American. She lives in Paris. And she's all about high vibration. That's why I have this music on behind me. This music that I have on behind me is Raise Your Vibration, Manifest Miracles, Positive Energy, Elevate. And I'm trying to get to that 5th dimension, you know. I'm trying to have all the positive energy and positive thoughts and the gratitude and love. Love is what makes us have high vibration. You know what I mean? And that's why I told you I love myself first. As RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? You have to start within. Start with here. Do the work. And I've done the work on myself. I've done the work on myself. You know, and it's a lot. You got to do the work. You got to talk to your inner child. You have to do that work. And I love myself so much. And I love you all. I love you all for being here and listening to my journey and my story. You know, I love you so much. So much. And if you stayed here, we're 33 minutes in. If you stayed here this far, my name is Alexis. This is the beautiful Miss Yappy. Beautiful Miss Yappy. She's my cohort, my companion, my support chihuahua here on this platform on YouTube. You will not see me do a YouTube video without without Yappy. Something is definitely wrong if Yappy's not in frame. Unless I'm doing a live. Sometimes she can't be in frame, but I always pan over and say, here's Yappy, and then go back to what I'm doing. And I think Yappy is going to do a live, so stay tuned for that. I think Yappy wants to do a live, so there's going to be one coming up soon. But anyway, she says, this is something that to bring in the frequency. It's like to leap into the fifth dimension, into the fifth dimension. You know what I mean? When we're negative and down and everything, we're in the third dimension. We're 3D, but I don't want to be 3D. I want to be 5D. I want to be up there. And my vibration is so high anyway. I'm already there probably. But you say this out loud every morning. And I'm going to share the video where she says this. So if you want to try it, you can write it down and do it. And you say, higher self, divine spirit in me, move me this day in the direction of my highest expression, my highest good, my highest contribution. Move my mind, move my mouth, move my eyes, move my heart, move my will, move my body in the highest direction. I love that. So that's something that I say now every day. When I get on here, I'm saying this, before I get on. When I get my sound bowl, I will be cleansing my area. I have my holy water that I've showed you all, all the things that I do. But this, and you can see, I wrote it down in my little book here. But I'm going to put it down below so you all, if you want to write it down, you can. But you can have her video and you can save it and say it. And it just gives me the tingles, you know what I mean? And love. There's a accompanying video that goes with that. And let me see if I can pull something else for us here before we get out of here. But basically you need to, let's see. Yeah, she's like, are you movable? She says, rigidity of mind and emotion makes a rigid body, and this works in reverse as well. This means that in order to be less resistant and more movable by your higher self, you need to exercise and loosen up your body. This can be achieved with dance, or even by hula hooping while you're brushing your teeth. She says, if you're resistant to the idea, then that's a huge indication that your ego is going to stay in charge. So, you have to let go of that resistance, and that ego. You know what I mean? You got to be able to move yourself. Like I said to you, I'm moving my body and I'm doing my steps, and I don't even know half the time, that I'm doing it because I'm just doing it and I'm happy doing it. You know what I mean? But you need to open up your heart and open up your mind. You know what I mean? To be grateful for what you look like at this moment. So many people don't want to get on here and do YouTube because I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm this and that. You're not. That's in your head. You have to get away from that. You're a beautiful soul. We are all uniquely made, and we are all beautiful souls. And I see you, my beautiful friend, and I know you're beautiful. You know what I mean? Don't have these negative thoughts circling around. I have never had that. As being as fat as I was, over 320 pounds, I have never looked in the mirror and said, I hate myself. Never. I have never done that to myself. I love me some me. Lexi loves me. I love me. Speaking of which, I started to say, yes, if you're new here, you stayed here this long, I introduced you to Yappy. My name is Alexis. My beautiful friends here, everybody here is beautiful. Please subscribe, comment. This is our motivational march, and it's almost over. Almost over. We have 6 more days, or 7 more days. So we need to keep motivating each other to build this emerging YouTube, to build this collective and this community. And my friends here call me Lexi. And I love them so much, and I love you so much. I love you for being here, for giving me the time. You know, I love you for watching me, putting me on in the background and doing other things, but listening and watching. And I love you. Please, and also please like these videos so my content gets pushed out. Please like, please. It's so important. It's so important. And please try to watch the whole video. Don't just come on for 2 minutes and get off. Watch my videos. Put them on in the background while you're doing other things and you can hear me. You know what I mean? That's what I do. When I watch you all, I put it on as I'm getting ready. I'm making my bed. I'm doing other things. So I can give you that like and give you that watch time. That's important. It's important. Some of my friends here, especially the birthday girl, Miss Althea Grace, coined me Sexy Lexi. And then there's another friend here who coined me Luscious Lexi, the beautiful indigo jaguar. So that's what I answer to. Those are all my monikers, and I'm so grateful that you're here for me to start this process of talking about, you know, my weight loss. You know, next we'll get into more of the things that I eat and stuff. And there are a lot of shorts of the protein and the different things that I eat on my OMAD journey. So you can go through the shorts and find certain things that I eat and I post, and make sure you watch and like them. You know, they're less than 3 minutes long. Some of them are only 15 seconds long. So you can watch those and like them. And I would appreciate that so much, so much. But yeah, this is the start of me talking about my weight loss journey. And all the things that I'm doing and have done to lose 110 pounds. And I'll be back with more. There's a lot of steps and a lot of things, and I'll be back to tell you more. But I thank you so much for listening, for watching, Yappy and I. And you know, friend, you mean the world to me here, and I wouldn't be here without you. I have so much love and gratitude for you. And as my beautiful, beautiful Rain says, I'm tapping my heart. I'm tapping. Tap, tapping. That means I love you. I love you so much. When you see me do this, I love you. And I hope you know it. So on that note, we're going to skedaddle out of here because, you know, it's Monday. And Monday ain't done nothing to nobody. So we got things to do, Yappy and I. But, deuces, and I love you. You mean the world to me. You mean the world to me. You all have changed my life on this platform, and I'll never stop saying it. Never stop saying it. You have changed my life, and I love you so much. Love you plenty, plenty, plenty.